My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last spring, 2016, to stop the ticking time bombs so I could put our economy on track for a bright new day instead of all things ending. Well, I lost the election and am not running, but the ticking time bombs are still here, if not more so. Let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 16F, the head of the stream, the clearest the water. Back to the true office issue. Was there anything about your rights that I just read in the last post about the only place in the original Constitution that mentions we the people's rights is in the preamble, nowhere else. So recognizing the preamble as part of the Constitution becomes truly important because of the importance of the true office issue of the preamble with the nomination of a new Supreme Court judge. I feel I need to refresh your mind on the true office issue. Now, back to the subject of the true office of the preamble. We today define federal court judges into two categories, conservative and liberal. Conservative jurists only recognize the true office of the 7 articles that I just went through in the Constitution and not the preamble. So when you hear, I believe in a strict interpretation of the Constitution, this is code for I'm against the true office of the preamble, which gives you your rights. In other words, conservative judges believe in some of the Constitution, but not all. They narrow the true office to just the 7 articles that say nothing about your rights. And liberal jurists recognize the true office of the preamble with the 7 articles. So liberal judges believe in all of the Constitution. Though Alcon's complaint of overzealous and overreaching liberal judges, looking at historic records, it has been conservative judges who have overreached more and with more devastating effects to our country. The Dred Scott decision, which made slavery legal in every state in the Union and brought about the Civil War, being a prime example. There is nothing more destructive than causing a civil war. Citizens United being a recent modern example of conservative overreach, making our free speech worth nothing and money speech worth everything, has led to more and more corruption within our government. Just take a look at the Donald's nominees. They're billionaires mostly. Conservative overreach has been far more destructive to our republic historically than liberal overreach. Remember, to narrow is to take your rights and take your protections. To expand is to give us more rights and to give us more protections. Which would you want the Supreme Court to overreach on? Out of curiosity, where did George Washington get the idea to have a mission statement at the beginning of our Constitution? The Bible, Matthew 5, better known as the Blessed Beads or the Beatitudes. The Blessed Beads are the Christian mission statement. Wouldn't you want to know the goal of Christianity so that the details make more sense? The same is with our Constitution. George Washington laid out the goals of our Constitution before he went into the nuts and bolts of our government, so that we would have principles to guide our country. The difference between conservative and liberal judiciary differentiation started before the ink of the Constitution had even dried. Understand, nowhere else in our original Constitution are we the people's rights talked about and government's responsibilities to we the people expressed. But in the preamble, all the rest of the articles are setting up the government. For a matter of fact, the supremacy of the federal government was ambiguous. 2. The federal government supremacy wasn't decided totally until international law forced the matter to be, and the Civil War decided it to be. It was decided by blood, folks. After reading our Constitution, Abigail Adams and Dottie Madison saw nothing in our Constitution other than what was in the preamble that talked about our rights and government's duties to protect. Seeing what was going on already with conservative monarchists, today we call them conservative oligarchists, trying to narrow out the preamble from our Constitution, as in today's conservatives. The gals urged their husbands and anyone else who would listen to create as soon as possible a Bill of Rights to amend our Constitution's fatal weakness. When Abigail Adams and Dolly Madison brought up no list of rights, and seeing those conservative folks working to exclude the only mention of we the people's rights and government duties, at the same time pushing for the president for life monarchy. When Thomas Jefferson heard from Abigail Adams and realized that she was right, to say that Thomas Jefferson freaked out is an understatement. And he stayed freaked out, especially since the Constitution didn't set term limits for the U.S. president position until 1940 something. But thanks to both Thomas George Washington and President Thomas Jefferson only had taken 2 terms, even though each could have easily had more than 2 terms as president, they had established a presidency of just 2 terms through their actions. There is a reason why today we have the Bill of Rights, thanks to the hard work of those 2 women. There is a reason why Thomas Jefferson created our oldest party and called it the Democratic Party. With this very basic understanding of our Constitution, let us take a look at Article 1. This is the end of Part 16F, the head of the stream, the clears the water, the review of the true office issue. You have a good and blessed day. Bye.